Indeed good for the Foxes, who are top of the Championship. A 4-0 win here this evening against Plymouth. We've got Liam Moore and Matt Elliott alongside me, Dan Bates. Jerry Taggart will come and join us just a moment. But yeah, that was a good win for the Foxes. And that man, Enzo Maresca, Liam, will be a happy man this evening. Yeah, he will for sure. It's almost, he probably got into them a little bit at half-time, I'd say. The 10 minutes after half-time were spectacular. 3 goals in quick succession, and that was job done.
Just looking at the stats there, I was wondering what they were going to be. It caught me a little bit by surprise in terms of, never mind possession, etc., the tackles and what have you, but shots there. Plymouth had more shots on goal. Leicester had a couple more on target. I say just the 7. That's not bad in an everyday game, but they've converted 4 of them. Obviously, pretty clinical, but. Apart from that sort of barrage at the start of the second half, the game was relatively close between them. Although there was a gulf, to be fair. It's just whether Leicester could slip into that top gear or anywhere near it for long enough, and they did at the start of that second period. That was it. Job done, game over, wasn't it? Pretty much, and they just sort of came out. But impressive from Leicester, naive from Plymouth at times.
Yeah, do you think that there was that at half-time? We'll sort your earpiece in just a moment. Thankfully, you can hear me next to you. For the maybe 15-20 minute period just before the break, other than the chance that Fatawu had to play in Ndidi, it was kind of all Plymouth, wasn't it? So you think that there was definitely something said at the break because Leicester came out and scored 3 in 10 minutes?
I would say so. So they obviously had the 10-15 minute period in the first half of the first half, and then after that Plymouth really did grow into it and they got confidence, and then I don't think the manager would have been best pleased. It was almost they're stuck in second or third gear. He's probably gone in there, called a few names out and said we really need to up it, otherwise we won't win this game, and then you could see that right at the start of the second half. That's exactly what they did.
I think the players probably realised it themselves. We said it at half time, didn't we? There had a little bit of a couple of wake-up calls there. On another day they concede. Plymouth are right back in it. So as players, you've got to sort of recognise that and jolly yourselves up a touch for the second half. And I'm sure the manager endorsed that as well. So did the trick, whatever.
Yeah, Jerry Taggart, who was on co-commentary duty for us this afternoon, is still with us. Jerry, braving the elements outside. You'll be happy with that. I think Enzo Maresca will be very happy with today's performance.
Yeah, I think, again, Leicester were a better team. But you've just seen again that at times Leicester get a little bit sloppy in the game, trying to overplay in areas where, even the best teams in the world will just put their foot through it when they have to. And Leicester on a couple of occasions tried to play the way out of trouble. Very, very rarely comes off. Second half was a totally different performance. Controlled. There was tempo. Training ground moves were coming off, i.e. the Patson Daka goal, classic training ground move. I just think overall the second half performance, that 10-minute spell, basically led to the rest of that second half becoming a bit of a parade, if you want, around the stadium. A bit of a Lord Mayor's parade where Leicester just completely controlled it. Didn't have to go gung-ho looking for the 5th goal or the 6th goal. And obviously for a manager and the coaching staff on the bench, it just gives them, they can enjoy the rest of that game. So, and then there's a clean sheet as well to boot, which is always important, even though you're winning the game comfortably.
And as well, with that game on Wednesday, Jerry, you look at Millwall, and this afternoon they've lost 1-0 away at Cardiff. They've obviously had a tough game. Leicester themselves have been able, as you say, to take their foot off the gas after about the 60-minute mark.
Yeah, exactly. And for the players on the pitch, they'll be conserving a bit of energy. They're not chasing the game like we have seen in the past, trying to go for the win. They're conserving their energy, playing out of their positions. That's all they needed to do. Because of what we're about to enter into, that's vitally important. Seeing Dennis Pratt coming on the pitch as well, coming back from an injury again, having more players available in this next 5 or 6 game run is vitally important. And obviously, keeping that consistency, keeping winning, because the teams behind you keep winning. Then you have to make sure that you're ready to go into this period, at full tilt.
Completely agree with Tags there as well. Obviously, the pleasing thing is the win, obviously, first and foremost, the clean sheet. But when you're seeing players come back from injury into such a busy Christmas period, that's going to be vital as well. There's 3 or 4 that missed out on the squad today. The manager can be pleased because the result's gone the right way, and then it might change again on the next game. And then over the Christmas period between the 23rd to about the 31st, the 1st, it's super busy. They're probably going to need to put out 6 or 7 changes per game, and the quality that's coming back, it's only going to be helpful.
Yeah, Leicester are fortunate to have that range of choice, aren't they? The depth. We spoke about it before the game. It didn't necessarily become a big factor today. The game was won relatively early, but it did enable changes to be made to see the game out comfortably. People getting minutes, etc. But the players, you just got to look at the players today that didn't feature in the squad at all for whatever reason. We'll find out in due course, but no other team in this division has that luxury.
Yeah, which again, Enzo will be so happy that today he was able to give a number of those other fringe players, which we'll talk about each of those individually in just a moment. But in general terms, he's been able to give a few key players minutes off the pitch, and then give some squad players who we've not had a chance to see yet because of injury some minutes on the pitch.
Yeah, I think he does it exceptionally well as well. I mean, he doesn't need praise from the likes of myself, but he preempts situations as well, doesn't he? I think you can tell there's thinking behind the rotation as well. It's not just for change's sake, but he's looking ahead. He's looking ahead at the schedule, not thinking. Many years ago, I naturally sort of refer to my time around it. It was sort of flog them until they're absolutely cream crackered, and then change them. You didn't want to give up your place, but it's a different game these days. And instead of people looking at it going, "Oh, right, it's a busy Christmas period," he'll be looking at making changes in the back end of November, so that people have, lightening the load in expectation of what's going to happen over Christmas. He knows what he's doing, basically, doesn't he? He mixes it around pretty well, and the results don't fluctuate too much.
Yeah, I think also on the back of what Matty said, other teams in this division don't have the squad size or the squad depth that Leicester have, and so if you can get as many players getting minutes as possible coming into this period, especially, then that gives Leicester and it gives Enzo Maresca a better chance of keeping the tempo and the quality that he wants to see in the games. Okay, there's going to be games where you're not going to see that. That's just the nature of the beast of being the championship. But it gives you a better chance of creating that environment where every time you step on a pitch, you go full tilt to try and get a result. And when your time's up, we'll take you off, we'll get somebody else on. We might not play you the next game, or we might not start you the next game, but you'll be on the bench then to come on and go full tilt again. So it is a bit of a luxury that they have at the minute.
Just quickly, sorry about it. Dennis Pratt, you mentioned him, and I sort of went, there's another player. But then the more I think about it, he could be massive for Leicester, because I think at the moment that midfield area picks itself. But Dewsbury Hall, they're not going to be able to play every game at that top standard. Cassidy and Eunice is still trying to find their feet a little bit, both of them, I feel. But if Pratt, we know the level he can play. He's an international, Belgium. He's got something to prove as well, because he hasn't sort of fulfilled his potential. He gets back full fitness, he could be a major asset.
Elsewhere in the Championship, I've already mentioned Wednesday's opponents, Millwall, lost. At the top end of the pitch, from a Leicester point of view, obviously, they remain just one clear of Ipswich in second. They won away at Middlesbrough 2-0 this afternoon. Leeds won earlier in the lunchtime kickoff, so the gap to third is 8 points. Southampton were winning, and then in the 97th minute conceded a very late equaliser. So the gap to fourth, and Southampton is now 11 points as well. They would have been on 40, Leeds on 41. It's now 38 and 41 as well. There's a little bit of a split fourth and upwards now in the division. Still to come here on Matchday Live, hopefully we'll get some pitchside reaction from either Enzo Maresca or a couple of the players. We're also going to look ahead to that Millwall game, which, a quick reminder to you, is available to absolutely everybody. There is a UK stream and, of course, broadcast worldwide as well. You can watch that with us on Wednesday evening. It's a 7:45 kickoff. That means we'll be live from 6:45. If you scan that QR code in the bottom right of the screen, don't worry if you don't get it this time. It's coming up on the bottom of the screen as well throughout this post-match show. Then you can pre-order the game. It costs only £10 and you can watch absolutely every single minute of action with us on Matchday Live.
Who wants to join me? Shopping at King Power. 3-day, 2-night stay booked. See ya.
To the rooftop bar.
To snap a photo for my IG.
To eat the famous pad thai.
The new collection is calling me.
Sure, there's a perfume I want. Let me ask my sis.
Yes, of course I'm going. Leicester City, Fox never quit.
Let's go. It's possible because King Power is more than just duty-free. Shop latest trends in beauty and gadgets. Your coolest staycation. The legendary pad thai, best street food in town. A place to support your team. A fancy dinner. Enjoy shopping at downtown stores and online. Or even the thrill of a new experience. Explore your everyday possibilities. The power of possibilities. King Power.
The new season's nearly here and the opinions are getting stronger.
We've got serious pulling power now.
What? To get the top two players now?
Aye?
It's like I've been saying, if he settles the squad, we'll be back on top.
Only this time we're going for the quadruple.
You are joking, aren't you?
The time for talk is nearly over.
With over £4 million in free bet giveaways and huge price boosts, kick off your season with Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Jameson Black Barrel unlocks a richer taste experience from barrels charred black by fire for notes of butterscotch, toasted oak and, ooh, moments like this.
You're built different. Breathing new life into broken. Taking matters into your own hands. Assembling big dreams from the small things. Never stopping until you find the right part at the right price. That's the eBay way.
Hello, football fans. This is a smart meter display. It helps you tackle energy usage, manage your spending, and keep you on target. Now that's a hat trick. Search Get a Smart Meter today.
Jameson Black Barrel unlocks a richer taste experience from barrels charred black by fire for notes of butterscotch, toasted oak and, ooh, moments like this.
The new season's nearly here and the opinions are getting stronger.
We've got serious pulling power now.
What? To get the top two players now?
Aye?
It's like I've been saying, if he settles the squad, we'll be back on top.
Only this time we're going for the quadruple.
You are joking, aren't you?
The time for talk is nearly over.
With over £4 million in free bet giveaways and huge price boosts, kick off your season with Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Welcome back to Matchday Live here on Fox's Hub following Leicester City's 4-0 victory over Plymouth at King Power Stadium. It really has been a very successful afternoon for the Foxes. And immediately we can go straight pitchside, because in just a moment we'll be able to speak to Patson Daka, who made his first start of the season, of course. Also got on the score sheet an assist as well to his name. It was a fantastic afternoon for the Zambian. He'll be speaking to our man James Fielden in just a moment. In fact, let's go to Patson Daka now.
Why? Because they play counter-attack, or?
Not really. I think I can say like because they have got like more high-quality players.
Okay.
Yeah, but
What, do they think they're above everyone else? Oh,
yeah,
really? That's interesting.
We'll go to Patson Daka very shortly. Not quite ready. I think that was still the small talk stage of the interview there. Patson Daka about to speak to James Fielden. Liam, very quickly, I might have to cut across you when Patson's ready. In fact, we're getting a thumbs up now. So let's indeed now go to Patson Daka properly.
thank you very much. It was a great afternoon, I should say, and I knew it was coming. Everyone knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time, and I'm happy that it has happened today, and I'm glad that I was able to contribute to the team's victory today.
And the biggest win for Leicester since October last year. I know you've been winning a lot of games this season as a group, but that must be a big confidence boost as well to finally put away some of those chances.
Yeah, I think the first target is to win as much games as possible, and the goals really come in later, to be honest, how many goals we score, but it's very important that we are very much clinical in front of goal. I think it helps at the end of the season to see how many goals you have scored, and I think today we did our best to be as much as we can be clinical, and it's great also for the confidence for the team and for everyone else.
How's it been for you this season? You haven't played too many minutes in the league at all, so to get a start today, was that a surprise? Did it come late in the week? How did it work out?
No, not really. I've been waiting for this opportunity. Like I said, we all knew that it was coming. It was just a matter of time, and for me, I'm always staying ready, so I don't have to be ready. So I was just waiting for any opportunity to come, and today it came, and I just had to do my best to help the team.
And words from the manager, I think, after you came off, what did he say to you?
It's a secret. No, he was just telling me like he's happy for me and he's pleased that I gave my best, because I've always shown it in training, and he's happy that I've shown it again today. So yeah, I just have to keep on working hard, and we see what happens as we go on.
What does he want from you as a striker? Because we see you making so many vertical runs, dropping in to receive, pulling the defender out and then jumping back in again. Is it quite hard to get your head around, or is it normal for you?
No, I think he knows my quality, everyone knows my quality, and it's also just a matter of recognizing when to do it, and it's kind of like a different type of football that I'm used to, so I'm adjusting, and I think so far I'm getting there.
There we go. It appears a technical error at the end of that interview there with Patson Daka. Still great to hear from him though, Matt, and he'll be delighted, won't he? Goal and an assist today. He'd only played 1 minute in the Championship before that this season. So to get that start, we heard from him there. He says he wasn't surprised. He was always ready. He knew it was coming, and then he does what he does.
Yeah. First of all, great attitude, and you expect nothing else really from Patson Daka. You know, you can see it there, the way he comes across in the interview. Good personality, great mindset, and attitude to life. Never mind football, but I imagine it's good management as well there. I mean, Daka's sort of touched on it or referred to it really there from Maresca. You know, in as much as he's saying he knew it was going to happen, it was just a matter of when. So he's keeping him involved. He's keeping him part of the group, even though he's hardly featured. He's rarely in the squad. Never mind. Starting lineup, but you know, he gives his all in training, again, as you would expect from a personality like Daka, but the manager's ensured that, and a lot of the players keep talking about the togetherness within the squad, and like I say, the style of football doesn't necessarily reflect that, you know, because it's not blood and thunder and up and at them to one for all and all for one type thing, but you see that togetherness at certain instances, like the win against West Brom, etc. Today, they all celebrate together. Good management, good coaching, and here he is, I think, right on cue.
Yes, right on cue. Matt Elliott talking about Enzo Maresca. He's with James Fielden now.
So very happy, and we continue.
Did you switch anything at half time, because that was a crazy start to the second half?
No, we just because they surprised us in terms the way they were playing in something. So we just adjust the way we press second half. No more than that.
What specifically did you change in the press?
No, we were jumping to a wrong player, and because they were moving in different way, we expected them, and we adjust half time, and works quite well second half.
Was it a surprise at the start, because they changed 6 players? People like Mumba, who's been such a good player for them, didn't start. So did it alter anything for you at that point?
No, they didn't surprise us in terms of change players. Yes, they surprised us in the way they move. That they move a little bit different. But for me, it's nothing new in terms of they try also to use their weapons to surprise us. And second half, we were better in the way we press, but even with the ball, first half, unless 10 minutes, 15 minutes, where we concede something. But overall, I think we completely deserve.
And you've won 4-0 in the end, but is that just a reminder to the players that even a struggling team, a promoted team, can still come here and go at you and attack you?
Yeah, absolutely. But they know that, we know that, and we know how difficult it is.
Vardy, Iheanacho, McAteer, what's the story with them?
No, Kelly Seal, Jamie had some problem, and Maka, he has also some muscle problem.
Do you think we'll see any of those back for the Millwall game on Wednesday?
I don't think so. We see, but it's difficult.
Well done today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much there to Enzo Maresca for that, and we had a little fitness update as well. We'll maybe get to that towards the end of Matchday Live, but maybe unlikely to see Vardy, Iheanacho and McAteer on Wednesday, but we'll see. Ricardo will be back, of course, having served that suspension today. We were talking before, Jerry, about Patson Daka. I think it's a little bit harsh on him, maybe, not to get your man of the match award this afternoon.
If you think so, but you know, we all have opinions. But
who did you give it to, Tex?
Fatwa.
Yeah.
I thought he was excellent. All-round game was excellent. But I know, listen, Patson Daka, first time he started this season, I thought he did excellent. His goal was straight off a training ground move, an open play. You know, been trying all afternoon.
Naive from Plymouth, that though, Tags, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah.
But like you say, you just said it there. They've been trying it all afternoon.
Been trying it all afternoon, but he can't concern himself with that. He's got to keep doing what the manager wants him to do. We've seen that throughout the season. We can talk about naivety at the back that we've seen all season, but they still do it.
Hell of a ball, isn't it?
Whereas, and the keeper's got that ability to pull that off, and it's worked a trait. And Fatawu comes running in from the right-hand side, unselfish play from him, and puts it on the plate, but he still has to control it, gather himself, composure, and obviously the finish. So, yeah, really good from him.
A good performance, but Fatawu better, and it's, I think that's a fair call from Jerry. What would you say, Liam? He looked a constant thorn in the side. 2 assists for him as well this afternoon.
He did, yeah. And what I was most impressed with for the second time seeing him live was just his work rate. He's willing to do the other side of the game. Tags picked that out to me when I was here last time, how hard he works going the other way. But again, he looks like an infectious character within the squad, somebody that you're obviously happy to be working with because you know what you're going to get from him on a Saturday, both quality-wise and work rate.
Yeah, he looks to be developing in confidence all the time as well, and he's naturally he's athletic. He's like he's made of rubber at sometimes. He just bounces off people, doesn't he, and off the floor, and he's back up on his feet, and he, like you said, infectious character. Yeah, that's a good description in terms of how he plays as well. He's got bags of ability. We mentioned him at half time, didn't we? I said like he's capable. You wouldn't be surprised at anything that he produces. It's just the regularity with which he does. But I think sooner or later, more and more, it's going to click, and he's only going to get better and better as he learns. He's under the right manager as well.
It reminds me similar to, we had a couple of wingers back when I was here many years ago, in Anthony Knockout and also Riyad Mahrez, where they came in and you could see the ability early doors, but it just started to click and it just started to get a bit better and better. And again, what Matt was saying there, you wouldn't be surprised kind of what he produces. It's just a case of doing that regular now, and I think Leicester could have someone really special on the hands.
Yeah, a confidence thing maybe at times as well. We've seen him this season. There was one effort that just went narrowly wide. Leeds, he nearly scored a wonder goal, hit the post. Hull, he hit the post against them.
Yeah,
as
well, obviously it's all new for him. He's come to a new country. He's having to learn the language. He's having to speak with his teammates more, kind of get that confidence from the fans as well. And I think over time, he's now starting to realise like he's a key part of this kind of project moving forward. The fans are loving him. They're singing his name. I think that the more that goes on, players, especially in the wide positions, thrive off confidence.
We have to mention, Jerry, Steffi Mavididi, of course, won the penalty, stepped up, scored it, scored again later on in the game as well. I think he looked disappointed when he was called, wasn't he, after about 55, 60 minutes. But understandable, you think he'll be nailed on to be starting on Wednesday?
Yeah, I've said it before. I think when Leicester's wide players play well, then Leicester invariably win and play well as a whole. And today, both wide players were key parts in Leicester getting over the line. And Mavididi was, again, central to it. You know, I could have given it to him, man of the match, because he scored 2 goals. As you say, got up after being fouled, took the penalty, slotted it in. Big pressure moment that in the game when it's 0-0. Early on in the game, you haven't taken a penalty all season. And, you know, you put so big responsibility on his shoulders. Fair play to him. He stepped up and he slotted it home. And then great use of his feet inside the box in a tight area and gets a good, solid shot off. You know, doesn't try and do... Initially, you think the chance is gone. But he just about does enough to work it to his left foot. And then it's time, I've got to take this chance now. And he does. And you know, he sees it go in the back of the net. So, yeah, well done him.
Yeah, quick word, Jerry, on Tom Cannon. First time to see him in the flesh in a Leicester City shirt. What did you make of his cameo?
Yeah, I think he very, very difficult to make I was going to say an educated opinion or appraisal on him, but you can see that, you know, he knows where the space is. He knows how to make the right runs, forward runs, that is. He's not afraid of coming short. He's not afraid of taking the ball in tight areas. He looks assured of himself. So, yeah, you know, it's looking good. Again, like Ben Nelson coming on, you think he'd played 200 games for Leicester, the way he was so cool under pressure when the ball was coming to him. So, yeah, again, you know, having Cannon back, having Daka back scoring, Pratt, you know, all these players coming back and the fans seeing them in a winning team, you know, it's good news.
Yes, obviously, we could see either Daka or Cannon. We probably will see them both at some point on Wednesday for that game against Millwall. Enzo Maresca himself saying that it looks unlikely that Mkhitaryan and Acho and Vardy will be able to feature on Wednesday evening. So, out of the two, putting you really on the spot, will it be Daka or Cannon, do you think, from the start?
I think it'll be the same again. I think Daka's going to be full of confidence. It'll be another game that will suit his attributes. And I think over time, it's just about building Cannon up now. It's been a long time out injured. There's no point forcing anything, especially when you've got a striker scoring goals. And I think he'll be integrated into the second half again.
100%, yeah. Daka, I mean, unless he's tired after his 60 minutes today. But he won't want any rest, Patson Daka, will he? And I've got no qualms about him whatsoever. In this style of play, in this division, he'll do more than a decent job.
Yeah, final word on today, Matt, can go to you. Another 3 points.
Yeah.
Leicester still top of the league. First time really this season, barring maybe Southampton away, that they've fully dominated a game and gone and won by, well, 4 goals. First time they've done that.
Yeah, as is usual, there's still a sort of like an if and a small but there. But at the end of the day, you can't argue with what you're seeing. They're clear at the top of the table, aren't they? Pretty impressive for the majority of it, but there's still some elements that you think they need to work on. But it is a work in progress. But listen, for the reasons we've said and many others, ultimately I think Leicester will have more than enough to achieve their aim, which is promotion with the squad they have, etc. So some real good football, some real scintillating stuff at times. Other times it's just a bit methodical, isn't it? But
It's working, Matt.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah,
no,
you're
exactly.
a hard man to please.
Yeah,
Matt
I
Elliott.
just look for a perfect world, don't you? But they ain't doing too bad, are
No,
they?
exactly. Big thank you to Matt Elliott, for Liam Moore for coming in again, and to Jerry Taggart, who was on co-commentary duty for us today. The next game, of course, is on Wednesday evening against Millwall. It is a game that is available to absolutely everybody on Matchday Live on Fox's Hub. Before that, though, we've got extra time, of course, to assess this brilliant 4-0 victory over Plymouth. Jerry will be one of the guests for that. The podcast is also available. Jerry Taggart and Matt Elliott in conversation with the Leicester City number 8, Harry Winks. And as you can see there in the middle, finally, that Leicester game against Millwall. Available to absolutely everybody. It is a 7:45 kickoff, that one. That means we are live with Matchday Live from 6:45. There is a QR code there in the bottom right of the screen. Everybody is available to watch that game. It's a live UK stream, of course, broadcast worldwide as well. So click that little QR code or scan that QR code and it takes you exactly where you need to go. Just £10 to watch the full game with us on Fox's Hub. But from us today at King Power Stadium, good night and have a fantastic evening.